Today I wanted to talk about those fake nursing diplomas. I'm sure you've heard of it by now, but there were 3 schools in South Florida, Miami area that were shut down because they sold as many as 7,600 fake nursing degrees. The alarming thing is, once they paid for that degree, then they were able to sit for the NCLEX. You pass is how you're able to get a nursing license. I did want to point out that Florida has one of the lowest passing rates in the country. And maybe now we have a key as to why that's the case. So out of 7,600 fake nursing degrees, only 2,800 of those individuals passed the NCLEX, which means that 4,800 did not pass. That breaks down to about 36.84%. So out of 7,600 nursing degrees, only 36.84% of those passed the NCLEX. And I believe that the reason why many of those individuals passed the NCLEX is because many of them were already LPNs. And I did want to point out that it was associate degrees that were issued. There were no bachelor's degrees issued. These were not bachelor's degree students, it was associate degrees. The public's trust in healthcare is already eroding. So the fact that this happened is just another hit to the nursing community. It's embarrassing. It's shameful. We are supposed to hold ourselves to high standards. So I encourage you, if you ever hear of anything like this again, please report it. Now, the other thing is I've seen a lot of TikToks and funny videos like, oh, Florida nurses, ha ha, he. But the issue is that a lot of these people are not just working in Florida. They went on to work somewhere else. The purchasers in the diploma scheme paid $10,000 to $15,000 for degrees and transcripts showing they'd received associate degrees, and many of the degree recipients went on to work at hospitals, nursing homes, and Veterans Affairs medical centers. Now, I applaud Delaware because several national nursing organizations cooperated with the investigation, and the Delaware Division of Professional Regulation already annulled 26 licenses, according to the Delaware Nurses Association. So there are nurses that were working in Delaware. So it's not just a Florida problem, it's a nationwide problem. And honestly, the people that purchased these fake degrees should be fined in some way, should have financial or legal ramifications. And on top of that, all of their licenses should be annulled because A, they were acting unethically, B, they don't have a license, they didn't go to school for it. So everyone else that has busted their behind to pass nursing school and pass these tests, it's an affront. It says other states are considering taking similar steps, and I hope that they do. Those charged in the case were operating in 5 states, according to federal reports. We are deeply unsettled by this egregious act, says the Delaware Nurses Association president. The Oregon State Board of Nursing is also investigating at least a dozen nurses who may have paid for their degrees. The nursing community that have responded say that the recent report on falsified nursing school degrees is both heartbreaking and serves as an eye-opener. And I also wanted to point out that it's awful that this happened. It's awful that even one school was doing this, but it was only 3 schools in Florida, and it was Palm Beach School of Nursing, Sacred Heart International Institute, and Siena College. The alleged co-conspirators made $114 million from the scheme, which dates back to 2016. Each defendant faces up to 20 years in prison. Most LPN programs charge $10,000 to $15,000 to complete a program. Important to note is that none of these programs were AACNN members, and none were accredited by the Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education. So when you're picking a nursing school, make sure that you see these reputable credentials so that you know you're going to a reputable school. AACN membership is voluntary, and this was actually called Operation Nightingale, based on Florence Nightingale. It was based on a tip related to a case in Maryland. So again, if you hear about anything, always report it because you could be making a difference. Unfortunately, this scheme lured many immigrants. In the scheme involving Siena College, some of the individuals acted as recruiters to direct nurses who were looking for employment to the school, where they allegedly would then pay for an RN or LPN degree. The recipients of the false documents then used them to obtain jobs, including at a hospital in Georgia and a VA facility in Maryland, according to one indictment. At the Palm Beach College of Nursing, those individuals have gone on to work in Massachusetts, New Jersey, New York, and Ohio, according to the indictment. The FBI said that some of the aspiring nurses who were talked into buying degrees were LPNs who wanted to become RNs, and that most of those lured into the scheme were from South Florida's Haitian American immigrant community. So again, very sad news. We have to hold ourselves to a higher standard. Our education literally prepares us to save lives, to advocate for our patients. So let's do better. This is embarrassing to nurses. This is embarrassing to the state of Florida. It's not just a Florida thing though. There's nurses working in many states. Remember that it was those 3 schools. It's not every school in Florida. So let's also be kind to our fellow nurses